Hey, I'm Jeramy Lowe. I'm over here at Brian Shaw's house for Up Hipster Blog. We're going to check out his amazing record collection. Check it out.
Was a face I loved, and I knew I had to run away. Get down on my knees and pray that they'd go away. Still they begin
I just pulled a combination of stuff that I really love and stuff that's weird and things that are just kind of cool. This record rules. You should get it if you can find it, which it's tough.
Yeah.
It's hard to advocate for things like, yes, this record is hard to find.
It's $100.
And
you
can get a CD of it in any used CD store in the world for $3.
Yeah.
I don't know what SPQR is, but it has Romulus and Remus on the label, which is just kind of bizarre for, an American soul recording. I just find this entertaining. You may be familiar with their Satanic Majesty's Request by the Rolling Stones, the cover of which is very similar to this, but instead of the Rolling Stones, here we have some stuffed animals. And this is by two girls. They're called, I'll show you the back. Shotzi and Hazeltine is the name of this group.
It can't be good, right?
It's okay.
Right. Okay.
They were in a band called Lipstick Pickups, a really good girl punk band.
I remember that.
Called Lipstick Pickups that played in North Carolina a bunch around 2005.
I mean, I know this is really, really shallow, but that picture would lead me to believe that that's terrible.
I can see that.
Just a picture of those girls with their.
Well, it doesn't help that it's called Shotzi and Hazeltine.
Yeah, that
doesn't inspire confidence.
Does not help their case at all.
This is a country duets record.
Is it really?
I will play it for you.
I kind of would like to hear that.
Because you would think these, obviously, Margaret Cho and Neil Hamburger are both stand-up comedians. You would think maybe this is just a really funny cover, but it's not. It's a really funny country duet record. I Drink and How Little Men Care, which, I mean, the second side I think is actually just delightful.
But this is, I guess, a 6-inch.
A 6-inch.
By Melt Banana.
I honestly could not tell you what it sounds like other than Melt Banana. I'm not sure I've ever listened to it more than once, but I think I saw it in a store once and it was like $2. And how can you turn down a record that's a non-standard size?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a non-standard size, and it's called 666, and it's a 6-inch record.
This thing reminds me that I need to get that Sheryl Crow tattoo I've been thinking about for a while. Who is this again?
So this is a split single. This I'll show you. This side is the more interesting one, which is Oxes, the band Oxes, and Bonnie Prince Billy, Will Oldham, doing a cover of "Strong Enough" by Sheryl Crow. It starts off really sort of like sedate and, acoustic guitar, and it gets really, really heavy in the middle.
So they rock out Sheryl Crow.
Yeah, and then on the backside, this image is pretty cool, of the train coming out of Bruce Springsteen's forehead.
Is that what the fuck that is?
We got In the Spotlight, Bo Diddley is a Gunslinger, which is an awesome title.
Yeah.
Go Bo Diddley, and Just Bo Diddley, which is the first one. Well, there's one where he's on a scooter with his square guitar. But sometimes people who collect records, especially in this era, like classic, like I was thinking about this, classic rock means AC/DC to people, but it really should mean Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry. I don't even know if I want to talk about this one because it's dumb. This is I really like pro wrestling. For those of you that don't know that about me, and this band, The Beats, always puts wrestling stuff on their record covers. This one is called "I Spit in the Face of People Who Don't Want to Be Cool." A collection of 12 songs about being cool by The Beats. This is a former WWE Intercontinental Champion named Carlito Caribbean Cool, who used to spit apples in people's faces after he beat them. Picture disc is the only way that this exists. It came out on CD. It came out on mini disc. It was right in that era of a year or two where they were putting out commercial albums on mini disc.
I do remember that.
Steal My Sunshine, if you don't remember. Based on a sample of the Andrea True Connection's More.
That's right.
People think that that song sucks, and they're wrong. It's awesome.
It's not a bad song. It's true.
It's really
It
great.
was featured in the film Go.
Everyone always loves it when I play it when I DJ
Yeah.
all the time, and everyone always loves it. The second song on here is called Cryptic Souls Crew, and if you like sort of old school style hip hop, Jurassic 5 kind of thing, it's a really good version of that.
Okay.
Just that one song though. The rest of it is awful.
I do personally like to imagine
1999.
a
I was 16.
16-year-old Brian Shaw driving down the street in a Sonata with a
Pontiac
Bonneville, listening to Steal My Sunshine and just feeling free, man.
Yeah.
Just forgot that this was even a movie. And Brian has the soundtrack to it. I mean, I couldn't not focus on Maniac in the Brainiac. Because Insane in the Brain kind of covered that territory already.
Yeah. Imagine you're a 14-year-old girl.
I do it all the time. This is Ram Jam, which I actually didn't check, but I can assume it's
Yes,
Black
that's the
Betty's
one with
on
Black
it.
Betty.
Okay. Are any other tracks on this worth a damn?
There's one about a hot rod, and I don't know if it's Keep Your Hands on the Wheel or 404. Remind me to tell you about the frat party I went to last night.
Fair enough.
This is a new compilation. Light in the Attic did it. I think it was a Record Store Day thing, but I'm not really sure. Of Lee Hazelwood singles and things. This picture as well, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
With those glasses, and just the suit he's wearing makes him look really, really small and demure. I'm just like, here, I'm Lee Hazelwood, and these are my ladies.
Who I make wear mustaches.
Like my ladies' woods. My Lazel woods. I don't know. GBV. America's Finest Rock Band. It's 2013 now. Their new plan, they put out 3 albums last year, in 2012. Their new plan is to put out 3 albums every year, in addition to the 3 or 4 solo albums that Rob Holler does. Everything. And they've already put out 7 singles this year. But this is their first sort of proper album, Vampire on Titus. I just think it's cool to have this old, it's like bad clip art, and it's glued together and colored with a yellow marker, and then photocopied. It's on Scat Records from Cleveland, Ohio. Speaking of cool, alright, this is, I think, people get a lot, in this day and age when you can get every color of vinyl and everything, people get a little wacky about colored stuff and weird, like what we can do 3 colors on the same record and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is Help by the OCs, which is an awesome record. That's an awesome band.
Yeah.
This record's been pressed like 6 or 7 separate times, and they always do a different color. I think the first press is orange. There's some black ones and some green and purple. But I think if you were to ask me what's the coolest single like piece of vinyl that I own as far as an object, this is it, and I will show you why. The record itself
No shit.
is clear rainbow splatter. I just brought this out because when people talk about My Bloody Valentine, they always talk about Loveless.
Yeah.
And I think this record is actually probably better.
It's true.
It's not as iconic. It's not as... It doesn't have a singularity of vision.
That sounded good.
The other
I
one
bought
does.
it. I totally bought it.
But,
How much longer did that come out?
this is before.
Oh, it was before?
This is 88.
And what was Loveless? 90?
Loveless is 91.
91, okay.
There were 2 EPs in between, and some of the songs in the EPs ended up on Loveless. But
okay.
this isn't anything. I didn't mention that.
Do you know that Turn On Your Heart Light by Neil Diamond is about E.T.?
I did not know that.
I remember, that's just weird. That just came to me while staring at that.
I'm glad to know that.
Yeah, it makes me want to re-listen to it and just think about Neil and how moved he was by that super awesome, great movie.
Smashing Pumpkins,
Okay,
Adore.
so,
This is a great record, and people like to ignore it because it's the album that came out after Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, which is a record that covers probably every stylistic territory you could think of, and is way too long.
yeah.
But it's a really cool, like, dark electro pop. Like, if it was a Depeche Mode album instead of a Smashing Pumpkins album, everyone would have been freaking out about it. People will tell you, if you're going to get a copy of Pet Sounds, that you should get this one. This is, so in 1972, the Beach Boys made an album called Carl and the Passions, So Tough. And it's sort of Laurel Canyon-y and breezy, and they were worried that it wasn't going to sell, so it never came. It didn't come out initially as its own record. It came in a 2 LP set with a repress of Pet Sounds, and it wasn't on Capitol. It was on Brother, which is the Wilson Brothers' own label. That was a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. So they came in a 2-pack with a different, not this cover of Pet Sounds either, a different cover that had white. But people say that pressing sounds like, it's mono just like the original, and sounds a lot better than the Capitol pressings. So I have this one. This is the single disc version that came when they reissued the whole, Brother did almost the whole Beach Boys catalog from the 60s again. And the Carl and the Passion's So Tough version of Pet Sounds also came in this horribly ugly brown cover. What I have is this. My one super collectory record is the very first version of Pet Sounds. It's in the shrink wrap. It's mono with the old Capitol logo. And it's pretty awesome. The Beach Boys love you. If you're gonna get a weird, crazy ass Beach Boys album from a later period, get this one. They're cheap and it's totally bizarre. There's a song about Johnny Carson. There's a song about the solar system.
Huh. I don't know if it looks like an 8-bit, like a Nintendo cartoon.
It's supposed to look like some needlepoint.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but okay.
This is from the beard phase.
Yeah.
All 5 bearded. Brian is fat.
Yeah.
Honking down the highway. It's not great.
How's
but it's
Ding
worth
Dang?
listening to. Ding Dang.
Ding Dang.
Ding Dang
Sounds
is
like
good.
it would be great.
Well,
Ding Dang. Ding Dang, man. Ding Dang.
Ding Dang.
I like that.